So the first question is the conduct caused or had a direct substantial relationship to the disability? Is there that connection between the disability and the act? I can give you a couple, or just at least one example. If, for example, a child brings a knife to school, and they decided to take it out of, their parents' drawer the night before, put it in their backpack, and bring it to school and take it out, you could argue that's not an impulsive act, even if the child has ADHD, because there's a lot of planning involved. But if, the student was handed a knife at school from another student and then showed another student right away that knife, then maybe that would be an impulsive act, okay? Because there really wasn't any planning involved. So that's kind of how you determine that prong. And then, was the conduct directly caused by a failure to implement the IEP? I mean, if the child has counseling services on their IEP and they don't get the service and they create some act that violates the school code of conduct, and they didn't get the counseling, you can argue that, had the student been able to talk about a situation or whatever, maybe the act wouldn't happen. So you have to look at that as well, because it's possible there's a connection between the service that was on the IEP, what the student should have gotten, and that's probably the whole reason the service was there in the first place, so certain conduct wouldn't happen. And if they don't get the service and the conduct happens, then maybe there's a connection there. If either of those are true, then they can't continue the discipline process. So they basically have to continue services. They have to return the student to the placement they were in before the disciplinary action, unless it's a serious, violation like weapons or drugs or serious bodily injury. They can do up to 45 days in an interim alternative educational setting. But basically, they have to return the student back to his or her previous placement. Or if the parents in the district agree to change the placement as part of the modification to the behavior plan. Okay? Sign up for our newsletter at iepsolution.com for more upcoming IEP Tips to Equip webinars, live workshops, and boot camps that will go into this topic and other topics in special education in much more detail. Thank you for watching this IEP Tips to Equip webinar.